truth.
Yo, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Green. Lots of freaking green. Okay, so yeah, guys, we've got flames on my bald head. Okay, yeah, I'm sure my wife would love that one. We'll talk to her about it, guys. We've got a lot of green on the bubbles here, on the daily, looking green, on the hourly, looking green. Markets opening up in the green this morning. We got the nice little TradFi sides. Look, Dow Jones, S&P, Nasdaq, Russell 2K, all green. VIX dropping down to 21.9%, 21.9 points, I should say. It's sitting there in the red this morning. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff today. I want to talk about this pump that we have, what's going on with the markets, and why I'm a little bit hesitant to really embrace the bullishness yet, guys. We're going to talk about a lot today. We're going to talk about what's going on with the UK trade agreement yesterday, what Trump just said today, what Bitcoin's target could be if it finds support, where we could be heading based on liquidity. You are not going to want to miss today's show. We are breaking down the bullish and the bearish scenario today on the morning market report. You guys know what time it is. Let's get it. Class is in session. Take your seats. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Morning Market Report. If you guys are wondering how I'm feeling, I'd like to say I'm feeling a little bullish, okay? But I have a little bit of bearishness in me too. So I'm kind of sitting here with like this bull and this bear competing for my attention right now, guys. I'm going to go ahead and say that hope-wise, I'm feeling a little more bullish, okay? Feeling a little more bullish. When I look at the data and I look at what really is going on with the markets, I'm a little bit bearish. I think we see a little bit of a pullback, and I'm going to show you guys why. It has to do with this chart right here. And it has to do with this line, which we've talked about many times. So where did we get our rejection? It's right there. It's right there. It's the 618, guys. We're going to break this down. We're going to look at a lot of headlines. We're going to break down the data and talk about why you should be cautiously optimistic, as I've been saying for a week, versus bullish. I think we have a potential for a massive breakout here. $170,000 Bitcoin in play right now. But there's some things that need to take place first. So let's go jump over into the chat. Let's see what. Get out of here, Bear. Shoo. Get. Bear's gone. Okay. Cruise ships. That's what we got to focus on. We got to focus on cruise ships. All right, let's go check out the chat and see who all's in here right now. OC's off doing his Superman hair. We had some technical issues, but we still started on time. Tradefly, take notes. Look here, BC Port Corp in the house with us right now, saying good morning to Alexander G, Allie G, my girl. Mike Play is in here. CJ Taylor, my brother, is in the house right now. That's my bro. If you didn't know, Ada Ace is in here with us. We got Mike Volmer, Alexander G, the Mod Queen, Ahsoka Tano. We got Roman Brave in the house with us right now. Who else? Who else has joined us today? Ada Ace said, let's effing go. Yep, you got it, bro. You got it. We're going. Oh, 2Dub. She said, good morning, Pipers. They're the alumni, 2Dub. They're the alumni. Good morning, alumni. So all them Pipers. Ninja Glock is in the house with us. Average Crypto Joe username is in the house. Harp. We got Harp in here. What did Harp say? Harp said, good morning, market report. Good morning to you, Harp. Appreciate you being here. JB, Crypto Billy with all the love in the world. Love that dude. Lunar Beach's Crypto. If you guys missed Lunar Beach's Crypto talking about the 5-wave Elliott wave theory that could be going on, it was pretty interesting to see that. You guys should go check that video out. It's on right here on Piper Academy. It's the Markets After Dark report with Lunar Beach's Crypto. And shout out to all the Otter gang rolling in on us deep, man. Swarmed my otters. Blocky Crypto, good morning. I'm just stopping into the show. I got so many shows on right now. Appreciate you being here, man. Username, I already got you. Donata Cabrera, I think I already got you. If I didn't, I just gave you another shout out. And I think that Frank the Tank DGen, I cannot be bullish at these levels so hard to be after 4 weeks of green action. Exactly. We're going to You guys are not going to want to miss today. I'm telling you. Steve Hickey, the Outer Gang in the house, got the OGs coming in here, flowing in hard. Let's go talk about this. I want to get into the news first. Hi, Melissa S. How you doing, lady? And Brumblebee, the Bumblebee's in the house. Let's go get into the news and let's talk about what we're seeing here because I want to break all this down and then I want to get into this Bitcoin chart and just talk about why I'm mixed today. My sentiment is a little bearish and a little bullish. I'm gonna break all this down. Let's go hit the news and let's break into what we're seeing on the crypto market cap today, guys. Let me adjust that little white line off there. There we go. Clean that white line off. There we go. Crypto market cap is at $3.286 trillion. The median trend on this is at $3.764 trillion. We're just only a measly 12.69% undervalued. That's all we are right now. This thing was in like almost 30 at one point. Looking at the current risk levels, we're at 57.2% risk band, which means we're damn near at a 1x DCA. If you guys don't know about our DCA plan over on the Piper Academy Discord, you guys should just check it out. We're going to drop a video very soon on all the stuff that we have in there, and it's only $5 a month, guys. So take profit plan with the DCA plan. You got to love it. Let's talk about this. I want to talk about this. This is hilarious. I love this thing. Let me see if this plays. I want to see if this plays. Of course, it's not going to play. Of course, it's not going to play. Let me see if I can refresh this thing. This was awesome. I saw this morning, and
okay, what's the second best? There is no.
Here we go.
Which one's the best crypto asset? Well, Bitcoin's the best crypto asset. Okay, what's the second best? There is no second best. There is no second best crypto asset. There's a crypto asset. It's called Bitcoin, right? Right? There's no second best. Okay.
Baby Michael
like
Saylor.
Google and Facebook. It's not like Apple and Amazon. Yeah, we can debate Apple or Amazon. What's better? They both look like tech monopolies to me. They both look pretty good. On the other end, Bitcoin or no, Bitcoin. Which one's the best crypto asset? Well, Bitcoin's the best crypto asset. Okay.
I love it, man. I had to share that. I saw that this morning on my feed, and I was like, baby Michael Saylor is something else, man. All right, let's go talk about what we got on the X marks the spot, guys. Fear and greed right now sitting at 73. We are in greed still. This was at 67 yesterday, so it's moving on up. Rumor alert. Elon Musk might resume Bitcoin payments for Teslas at the end of next month. That's a pretty big move, in my opinion. I think that a lot of people have been waiting for this to come back because this would be a bullish stance being taken by Elon Musk. So, yeah, be watching for that, guys. That would be a bullish catalyst, in my opinion. So 80% tariffs seem about right, according to Trump. So I want to talk about this. We're going to get to that in a little bit because that's going to be part of why I'm still a little bearish. Steak and Shake. If you guys don't know about Steak and Shake, they make great smash burgers. They're the original smash burger place. Accepting Bitcoin payments at all locations starting May 16th, making cryptocurrency available for our more than 100 million customers. The movement is just beginning. Let me know in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat if you would spend Bitcoin on Steak and Shake. Put a 2 in the chat if there's no possible way you're spending your Bitcoin, triggering a capital gains event to buy Steak and Shake. Let me know in the chat, guys. And then, used car prices. That's going to go along with the other thing. Okay, cool. That's X marks the spot. There's some stuff in here we're going to talk about in a little bit. Let's go jump into the 24-hour liquidation levels. In the past 24 hours, 264,766 traders got liquidated. Total liquidations were at $1.18 billion. Largest one was on Bitcoin with Binance. They lost 11.97 million on a single trade. So, Darshan Bob has said, bigger story is that I accept Bitcoin payments. I accept Bitcoin payments. I'm not spending Bitcoin. No, there's no way. Lots of 2s there. Exactly. Crypto bubbles. Let's go down and look at current prices here. Bitcoin. Holy cannoli. It's at $103,473. The level I told you guys yesterday. If you guys recall, I said, watch this level at 103. 500. That's where we are right now. 4.1% up on the daily. Ethereum getting an absolute tear, up 19.1% today to 2350. Let's see. XRP had a 7.8% move. Solana is up 10.5%. Dogecoin's up 12.8. Avalanche is up 13.2. Stellar Lumens XLM, which we've added to our DCA plan, it is up 9.9% right now. Hyperliquid's up 17.7. Shiba Inu's up 12.7. Look at Shiba Inu go. And yeah, well, Litecoin has lost its number 20 spot, but it has dropped down to 8.3% there. Let's go jump into the markets again and take a look at what's going on the Dow Jones, the S&P, the NASDAQ, the Russell 2000, all sitting in the green, up about 0.2% to 0.6%. VIX dropping down to 21.9. Let's go look at bonds. 10-year yield is dropping, guys. This is a good thing. It's at 4.365, just slightly down, like 1/thousandths of a percent, but still red nonetheless. We want to see this go down. That is what's causing mortgage rates and loan rates to go up. So looking at oil is rebounding. If it's going down, that means recessionary fears. Going up means pretty good sentiment. It's back above $60 again. Gold, though, not going down yet, guys. It's up to 3,328, up 0.7% almost on the daily. Silver is up, copper's up, platinum's up, and palladium is all up. All right, so let's talk about why it's up today. Stock rises after Trump hints. This is this morning. Many trade deals are close. We're doing them big. We're doing them bigly. Bigly trade deals, lots of them, lots and lots. Many of them. You can ask anybody. There's a lot of them. They're close. Stocks gain on Friday as President Donald Trump suggested many trade deals are near, while also endorsing cutting the tariff rate on China before weekend talks. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is up to 111 points for 0.3%. I think it's actually a little bit higher than that now. Many trade deals in the hopper, all good. Great ones. Great ones. Said Trump on the Truth Social a day after announcing a preliminary trade agreement with the UK. Traders hope the UK agreement will establish the framework for other deals to happen, right? And appear to be the baseline. That 10% tariff will be the baseline to work on. President Trump also wrote on Truth Social that 80% tariffs on China seems right. Ahead of the talks led by Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent with China counterparts in Switzerland this weekend. So while this de-escalation somewhat from the current 145% tariff on China is still higher than many expected, where the administration would go to jumpstart talks. So earlier, the rates could be lowered by 60% as soon as this week is what was reported on the news from Bloomberg. So nothing major going on today in the economic side. The macro is all in just Fed speakers today, so we're sitting there good. Looking down here at the events for next week, Tuesday, we're going to have core inflation. And so let's get into why I'm not fully bullish yet. We have inflation coming in next week, expected to be higher. Okay. Year over year is flat, month over month higher. Okay. We're looking at inflation rate month over month without the core. Just this is everything involved. And that's up 0.4% from the -1 it was previously to 0.3. Okay. We're expected to have inflation rate year over year be higher. Okay. We got all those things. Let's go back over here and let's talk about the things that I saw in here. The 80% tariff. It's still a high tariff. It's not 145, but it definitely ain't 10%. What else? Used car prices are surging. Wholesale used vehicle prices jumped 4.9% year over year in April to their highest level since October 2023. That would be also AKA inflation. What else do we have next week? Let's go here and look at PPI. PPI, this is the producer price inflation, expected to be higher by 0.6%, over 0.5%. So we're seeing inflation continue to the upside. We're not really seeing anything big. Yeah, there was a UK deal yesterday, guys, but it was really about auto parts and about the about steel. So getting the 10% tariff deal with UK, not that big of a deal at the end of the day, but 80% tariffs for China, it's better than 145, but it's still not going to lower prices. I think we're going to see inflation, which means very unlikely to get rate cuts. I'm sorry if I just blinded you, but we're still looking at 82 to 83% chance that there's no rate cut in June. July is the first time that we start to get into that realm of rate cuts. And I think that that will go much higher on the likelihood of not getting a rate cut if we see inflation come in even hotter. Now, if we get to the point that this inflation rate comes in below this and it's okay, look, inflation's not as bad as we thought it was going to be. Yeah, we still might get some down the road in like 60 days, 30 to 60 days when the tariff stuff starts being hit. And then a month later, they analyze the previous month. But overall, those would be the chips would need to fall a certain way in order to have this continuation of bullishness, right? Right now, we still have a nothing burger on what was done by Trump yesterday. We have a nothing burger on what's going on with China. And really, it was a tweet and a UK deal that caused this movement yesterday. The tweet being from Trump, he said, you may want to buy stocks. Market manipulation much? There we go. So let's go talk about this here. Bitcoin price and XRP soar. Here's the risk to crypto rally. This is quoted at barons.com. Bitcoin rallied after a week that reignited investor risk appetite, particularly for digital assets. Bitcoin was up 3.2% to $103,000 over the last 24 hours. According to CoinDesk, the world's largest cryptocurrency crossed $100,000 for the first time since February on Thursday afternoon and briefly passed $104,000 overnight. Altcoin Ether led the gains among the biggest cryptos, soaring 19% to $2,341. XRP and Solana rose about 6.8 and 8.2% respectively. Trade developments between Trump administration and trading partners played a big role in crypto's recent surge. On Thursday, the US and the UK announced a trade agreement. Big nothing burger. Here, good sound effect for that. The first since Trump declared sweeping global tariffs on April 2nd or Liberation Day. U.S. officials are set to meet their China counterparts over the weekend for talks, which may lead to a de-escalation of the trade war between the two largest economies, China and the U.S. So let's get into the first quarter marked a turning point in the U.S. policy landscape, shifting from gridlock to a tangible momentum. Coinbase said in a letter to shareholders late Thursday, while Bitcoin and other cryptos have seen impressive gains this week, the former is up roughly 10% early Monday. There are risks to the rallies. It's more significant trade agreements don't materialize before the 90-day pause on the reciprocal tariffs expiring in July, then most economists agree that will push inflation higher. That would prompt the Federal Reserve to keep interest rates higher for longer, aka no quantitative easing. With the higher borrowing cost hampering investors' appetite for riskier assets like cryptocurrencies. In the central bank's latest decision to keep interest rates steady at 4.2 to 4.5, Jay Powell, said tariffs contribute to elevated uncertainty around inflation. Matter of fact, it's not just that, it's also unemployment that they're watching closely for, and those two combined create stagflation. So, in my opinion, we are not out of the woods yet at all. Matter of fact, we still have some liquidity sitting below us. $100,000 liquidity is levels to watch. Let's go over here and look. We've cleaned out all this liquidity. We have a little bit more right here, about $1 billion sitting right here equal to our previous highs, right? But below us, we start to get into a lot of liquidity below that $100,000 level where we could be going back to pick it up. Let's jump over here to my chart. And let's talk about this chart here, guys. So this is, if you guys haven't seen this, this is my cycle highs. I talked about this like 8-9 months ago that this was going to be our target for this cycle's top. This is a trend-based fib extension. If you look historically, this has been the levels that we hit. We did have one outlier, broke above it there, but for the most part, we hit inside the 618 to 0.66 GAN level every cycle. So about 8 months ago, I said, well, watch this. I also said that if we look at the timelines of going out, where's my times? Time. Nope, that is not time. Is that time? That is time-based. Fibs here, guys. We have this whole period here where if it goes out into from when we break the previous high cycles, if you don't know, from when we break the previous highs to when we make a new high for that cycle, that falls right in line. If you do the average on all of these, that fell right in line with the man, where are you in here? Fell right in line with the first quarter. There it is. That's the one. Yeah, it fell right in line. If you look here on the historicals, once we break previous all-time highs, guys, there we go. There's the high. We break the high and measure that time off 287, 273, so on and so forth, right? Then we get into an average for this cycle. It was quarter one. So I was watching quarter one and we also hit inside of that level. That's going to be the level that I am watching. Lock your damn fibs. Jesus. Amateur hour. So that's the level that I'm watching for us to have, that we have to get through. If we take a look at what price action did last night, take a look. I'm going to bring this in. Big old chunky candle. Shout out OC. You guys can see our resistance and our new doji candle of uncertainty all hitting right here on that level. Now, I know that there is some levels above this that I've talked about before, but I think in order for us to really hit those levels, guys, we need to come in, find support inside of this golden pocket and set us up for another run to the upside. I will point out that on the daily, we are pushing up for another run here. That is a transition color on the Oscillator Pro. So I do see that we could be heading back up here. We pulled back, got this nice little cool off, and now it's running back up. But on the 4 hour, we are starting to see some weakness. So I'm going to get in and talk about how we get to $170,000 Bitcoin here after OC gets done, because he's back. Superman is back. But we do have an article here talking about how high can Bitcoin go, and they're talking even about 180,000 in there. So OC, welcome back. Good morning. We covered until you got your beautiful Mexican Superman hair done. But yeah, overall, man, when we take a look at what we've had so far with all of the 10% yesterday deal made with the UK, and we talk about what we see with Trump's tweet. We haven't had anything change. We're still looking at higher inflation. We're still looking at quantitative tightening. We're still looking at weakening jobs. 155,000 people laid off in April, by the way, guys. If you guys don't know that, that was the number that came out yesterday also. So we're not seeing any changes to the macro. Do I want to get bullish? I absolutely do. But I think as of right now, we need to go, what has changed? Not much. What have we seen? Very little to cause this pump. So you missed it earlier, OC. I had my nice little setup, and here I'll bring this up. This was my setup this morning, and when you went away, I said I'm feeling a little bit of bearish, a little bit of bullish, and a little bit of bearish. These are my co-hosts today while you were gone, popping in there with me. I want to be bullish. I feel a little bit bearish right now until we make some support. What are your thoughts on this, and what are you seeing on the charts?
Oh, I feel absolutely the same. I mean, remember yesterday I was telling you that I was feeling bearish for the day, and them thing just pumped. So yeah, basically, yeah, I don't care what you feel like, right? I'm going to still move because the macro markets are moving because there was a fundamental news, right? So fundamentals are always in front of technicals, so we need to look at first fundamentals before technicals. Other than that, I'm up there with you. I think that we need to see a cool off area, cool off zone. Right now, we have just a little bit of a retracement candle on the 15 minutes, the 4 hour. We're still hanging up in there. I believe that we need to see a breakout, which we already have, right? And then the retest back into the trend line that we broke, right? Yesterday, I was mentioning that we could be having that retracement down here, and then off we go. But at this point, since the fundamentals played out, I'm going to be going for this next possibility. So we have a possible reversal here. It's not quite yet a flip of the ribbon. It is a rounded topping here, so it's a little bit difficult to time this one. But when we start going into the red clouds, I'm gonna if we lose, for example, this trend line that we're forming in a lower time frame, I believe that we could be coming back down here somewhere around 100K, 100, 100K. But other than that, we need to wait to see what's going on. I do see this candle not playing out that well or that fantastic, but the same thing I saw within this one and ended up closing very bullish. So I think that, I mean, I was listening and I think I'm up there with you. Like, we need to be cautiously optimistic and prepare for our worst case scenario, right? At the end of it all, if we prepare for the worst case scenario, we are going to be covered for whatever it comes. And if the best case scenario plays out, well, then you're going to be on profits.
Absolutely. And you know, someone just said, I can't wait to take my profits and party like a rock star. I'm going to be 53 next week, Average Crypto Joe said. I feel you, bro. I'll be 53 this year also. It's a bunch of old boomers, aka Gen X, the FAFO generation, out here trying to make their money for retirement crypto, right? Here's my thoughts. And yesterday, one of our members, I talked to them and they said, should I take my profits here? And I said, if it was me, what has really changed in the macro, which I just discussed? Not a whole lot. I would say this: taking profits, no one's ever gone broke doing it, right? If we continue to go up, you're feeding a winner. You can, pullbacks, retracements, and just feed it heavily, right? You can gorge it on some hefty money, right? Because you got profits. If it went down, you're going to be glad that you did. So if it went up from here, you can heavily feed the winner, right? Feed the winners, cut the losers. If it went down, then you're going to be glad that you did. There's only one scenario in there that really has true pain, and that's not taking profits. And then this is a triple top and rejects again on a retest of the double top range, right? So being where we are and that we haven't seen much change, it's not a bad idea. I don't, for me, that's my opinion. That's what I would do. That's how I'm doing it. But if you guys are looking at this and you're wondering, like, look, no one's ever gone broke taking profit. You don't have to close everything out. Might be a spot to take some profits. And then if it continues to pump, then you can take that profit and go, you know what? It's pullback and then just continue to compound it, right? So you don't need 100% exposure all the time. You just need to keep as much of your gains as much as you can. That's really the name of this game. So shout out there to our 53-year-old Average Crypto Joe next week. So that's my plan, and that's what I did. I took a little bit of profits off the table again, off of the DCA plan, and I'm prepared. So I still have a little bit of exposure. I'm going to continue to feed a winner. If this thing continues to pump, I will feed the winner. Winners take calories, right? So that's what I'll do. If it starts to go down and cuts 10% below, 10% losses, then I'm going to keep 90% of my money that I had in there, take the 10% loss, and then I'm going to hold that 90% to feed this thing heavy when it becomes a winner again. And that's the DCA Piper Plan approach. So OC, I want to talk about how we get to $170,000 Bitcoin. If we do get up, what's that?
How would we get there? Buying it. That's the only way.
Well, right now it's retail buying it. We've already showed that. I showed you guys this week. I said, look, institutional, nope. Hedge funds, nope, not buying it. Who's buying it? It's a lot of retail. So, and we know they use us as exit liquidity a lot. So let's go in here and let's talk about what needs to happen for this thing to go to the $170,000 range, which is what they were talking about on the article I just showed you before we passed it over to OC. Let's go watch this and look at this. What I would need to see is I would need to see Lunar Beaches see an ABC correction and then a pump up for one, because he's really good at that stuff on the Mad Show. Secondly, I would need to see price action get into the golden pocket, retest highs, because if it goes up here and grabs liquidity, guys, and pulls back down, this isn't the line of rejection. It's this zone. So we technically could get all the way up to $117,800 and still be in that same pattern of rejection, right? It's a golden pocket, not a golden line, right? But if we get up here and grab that liquidity and retest here at about $103,500 and bounce from here, then we go back into a whole other cycle of fibs that I have here. And what this is these are based on lows to highs every cycle. And if we take a look at what's always played out here, I've talked about this yesterday, that 1.618 is the level to watch every single time. That level 1.618 at a minimum has been hit. Now, there is a 2.36, but the last cycle, we did not even get close to it. We rejected right at that 1.618 again, broke right above it and rejected on the 618 of the cycle top. So if we look at the cycle top, we get this bounce right there. Guys, that level would there be what? $169,000 would be the high level there. If we jump over to the Wallen chart and we take a look, let's just give this out to about, this is on the weekly, we need to get out to about the period of November. October, November here, that would be about $180,000. And what we just see on that article was talking about Bitcoin eyeing that sub 100,000. Nope, right there. 182,000. A bull flag on the weekly chart suggests $182,000 for a Bitcoin target. So yeah, if we get back in here and we get our bounce on this golden pocket top, which is a trend-based cycle top call, I would think that we would get this bounce up to at least that 1.618, and that would be 170,000. If we go up to the golden pocket, which we've traded in this thing, this is fib-based channels that we've had on for all the way back to the whole history. This whole cycle from the bottom, we have been right here in between the golden pocket and the platinum pocket 786. Matter of fact, when we were running over here on the show right here, running towards the 786, I said, guys, if we break this, I've always been of the mindset that breaking this 786 wasn't going to happen. It's how I knew that this wasn't going to happen, and I knew that this wasn't going to happen, and I called for upside movement. But with everything that was going on bearish, I couldn't really call for an upside movement and said it could get really interesting if we break this. What we do, we came right down to it and then popped back up again. So if we continue on in this channel, guys, and we look at the time frame of quarter 3, quarter 4 for the top, that we're in that $170,000 to $180,000 range anyways. But again, need to see it get above that 618 on the cycle tops, and that would give me the bullishness. And then I can go bullishness, get rid of the bear, force them into a hole. But for right now, guys, that level getting a lot of rejection on it right now. So, OC, I'm going to pass it over to you. If there's anything else you want to talk about on that, or we could take a look at gold, because oddly enough, with the markets pumping today to the upside, I will point out the Dow Jones is now in the red, the S&P is now in the red, and the NASDAQ is at 0.01% to the upside. So the markets are pulling back. Bitcoin is getting rejection right at that $103,500 level. So what are we seeing with gold? Because gold was green all morning long despite the market pump. Let's take a look at that, and let's see what the risk-off hedge of gold is actually telling us.
Absolutely. Let me just go first into Bitcoin, because I do remember that I have a chart that I created like way back in time, somewhere around here. And I was telling everyone, this is going to be forming a pattern, right? So let me go back in time, because right now, and guys, this is kind of like a newbie mistake that I made. Keep my eyes off my old charts, because at this point, if I would have looked at it before, I would have completely demolished this entry here, since the one that I already have taken profits. Why? Because let's take a look at here. If we go into this very old chart, let's go to the daily, we'll see that I've been talking about this trend line for a long, long time, right? And like a month ago, when we had this breakout, well, it wasn't, the last month, the previous month, right? We have this breakout. I was expecting, hey guys, this thing is breaking out. I would love it for it to be just moving throughout time faster, right? Or taking longer, sorry, but it's moving faster. So maybe this area right here could be this area right here, and we are looking for the retest. So guess what happened here? We have the same channel, we have fall below, we have the retest, and then off we go. What was my previous target? Right here, because we also have previous highs, and we have right there, I believe, an order block, a liquidity zone. There it is, a liquidity zone with a predictive range. So let's zoom out. What is it right now happening? And this is exactly what I mentioned, guys. I believe that when we get here, we are going to have the same movement downwards, all right, same movement downwards, and then we need to look at what's going to happen once we're back in here. Why is that? Because at this point, we're going to be defining if this is a dead cat bounce, all right, or if it's just a little retracement for a higher high to be taken. All right. So far, man, I'm getting more and more excited. I mean, at this point, I do expect a retracement. This is a soft order block. This is daily, so we can still hover around here like we hover around here for a couple of days, all right? And then depending on how this percentage starts switching and changing, we could be having that result that we are expecting, all right? Or better yet, because my backs are going to be so happy if we just burst to the upside like in here. But still, I believe that we need a retracement. Let's go take a look at gold after I get too excited in here. And here we go. We have
those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers in this racket.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So, guys, I just want to remind you really quickly that a long time ago, we did a video of possible areas of prediction. And I think that we're now hearing a little bit of that craziness that I, once upon a time, I kind of like bring up to the channel, right? What was 500K. So other than that, that is just to be a little bit up on the funny side. Again, do not expect those numbers just yet, but trade the daily chart, right? So just trade it however the candles are forming. So perfect. We have right here on gold a perfect rejection that we were expecting here. The next possible movement is going to be either here or on the median. Where is the median? Somewhere between the center in here. We are bouncing off the center, but still, look at that. We have a triple bearish divergence, all right? We are turning back around. So this flip of the ribbon was not strong enough. I mean, in here it was, but not strong enough on this volume to get all the way to the reversal. And what happened? It went just half of the way. It seems like we are retracing downwards, all right? So what does that mean? It means that we need to keep our eyes on the oscillator and see what patterns it's going to be forming right here. If we start losing the zero line, most likely we're going to hit the bottom, as we are expecting, right? So perfect. This could be our next possible entry right here. And if we bounce to the upside, we're going to be seeing an early rejection in here. And most likely, if that happens, a possible breakout retest continuation to the upside. Let's take a look at the other setup that we have in here. This is a little more into a recent movements. Why? Because we called out in here an entry. All right, so let me remind you guys that we had this entry here, took some profits that stopped us out, and then what we were waiting for, breakout retest. What happened on this retest? We fall below the zero line, so no entry there. In what area we were expecting? Dynamic reactor, right? Not only dynamic reactor, look at that, we have other three lines, because back in the day, we had, there we go, predictive ranges, we had support and resistance, and we have liquidity zones, all right? So what happened? It went back down to that area, boom shakalaka, and then off we go. At this point, I was expecting, hey, oh yeah, I was expecting a possible set of reaction, a triangular pattern. If you don't remember triangular patterns, go watch Trading with OC. We talked about triangular patterns, and what happened here, we did got a pattern. Not exactly the same one that I was expecting, but a bull flag. Usually a bull flag, it is a big triangular pattern with an early breakout, all right? So just so you know, we're having that bull flag already, and a couple of days ago, we were expecting a sweep of the lows. Look at that, beautiful reversal, and then off we go. So should you keep it or should you sell it? At this point, we need to have a little bit more time. Why? Let me just clear this up because those profits are already taken. Let's replicate what we were talking about on the previous scenario, right? On the previous chart right here. All right, look at that. I'm going all the way down here. And now at the closest one, I'm grabbing it all the way here. All right. So, oh, yep. So let's go right there. Let's fix this. All right, perfect. So whichever you want to do. I mean, I don't really care much. Just make sure that you're having a buffering zone because this is telling you, hey, we have a buffering zone. If you don't want to imagine that buffering zone, just grab it from here, push it like that, and that's going to be it, all right? So far, in both case scenarios, we have a big triangle. So right now, we are basically fighting on the median of that triangle. How do I get the median? I draw a line in here, and then I aim for the center of this line, somewhere around here, and then the pivot pointing here. So that is my median, all right? If my pivot was, right here, I mean, the median will be pretty much the same, just slightly different. There we go. And that will be basically it. So we are fighting on that median. Regardless of how you want to see it, the median, very weirdly, always kind of stays around the same area, right? What we need to see a break through this zero line, right? To go up, have an early bounce, and then off we go. If we bounce downwards in from here and we do not make it through that median, I mean, come on, we can do a slight breakout, right? Do not get it for you. So if we do something like that and then we start closing back below the median, be careful because most likely we're going to have this movement like that, all right? So this is going to be turning into a possible rounded top. What else do we have? Where are we going to be looking for? Again, support, equilibrium, previous lows, and also, there we go, areas of support somewhere around here. And let me just get rid of the stuff on, there we go, smart money entries right there. All right, so we have a well-defined area of support. So it's not about the breakout, hour long. It's about the retest. We need to see if this is going to be another fake or not. Hold it. Maybe open up a head switch of 1 quarter bearish. All right. Let's do a line to the downside so we understand. And then if it goes down, you feed your winners, your cut your losers, right? Nonetheless, if you enter in here with your long, when we get to TP number 1, which is right here, your stop loss should be already at stop to entry, all right? So when you do your head switch, reverse short, 1 quarter, all right? Then you enter with your reverse short in here, and if it goes around, your winner is gonna, your loser, your long loser is gonna get out at entry, and then you're gonna profit 1 quarter on your short. And then when it retraces, you feed your winner, which is going to be your short, right? If for the contrary, it goes up, it stops you out, that's fine. You still have 50% in, go back in, feed your winners, and then off we go. So we have dissected everything on gold. I think, guys, I know this might sound a little complicated. Rewatch it if that needs to be done, but prepare for the upcoming changes. Other than that, turn it back to you, Piper.
Awesome. Yeah, I wanted to throw this in here into the chat real fast because I love how you say your winners. There you go. There you go. All right, so I want to tell you there's some bullishness on gold, and I want to tell you guys. I sit here and I watch the price, and I know there's people out there that all the time they're preaching about, just hodl, just hold, right? It's up always. It eventually, if you zoom out, Bitcoin's just parabolically up, right? I would say that some alts are up quite a bit today, but that's why we trade alts. You guys can do that using Blowfin. And if you want some help on those indicators, you got Chart Prime, right? Check out all the links below. But the thing that I want to talk about with Bitcoin is that there's an article right now from CNBC Pro talking about how gold in 2029 could get to $6,000. Okay. This is a CNBC, a JP Morgan commodity asset analyst, and they're talking about the big wiener during tariff chaos. There you go. And geopolitical uncertainty has a lot of room to go if foreign buyers start to step up their allocations in gold. U.S. investment has a current uneasy macro environment, keeping them on edge, which we talked about today. And if they redirect just 0.5% of foreign U.S. asset holdings to gold, the action could drive gold prices to $6,000 by early 2029. Okay. Just wanted to lay that out. Here's the reason that I take profits and then feed the winners, right? Feed the winners is because I want to, if it does go down, I want to be able to buy as much. Let's talk about gold, guys. They're talking about, we had $3,500 gold in April. If it goes to 6,000, even if it's at 3,000, we'll say best case scenario, it goes from 3,000 to 6,000. That's a 100% return, a 1x. Bitcoin itself, there's some crazy numbers out there, like 500,000 on the low side for Bitcoin in 2030, and as high as like 2.5 million, right? So even if we go shooting right in the middle, we're talking about $1 million. English speakers just pronounce it wrong. We do. I'll tell you a story about that. Story time with Army Piper in a minute. So if we say that Bitcoin is going to go to $1 million, do you want 1.5 Bitcoin or 2.5 Bitcoin? Do you want if we're going to, normal levels here, do you want a half a Bitcoin or do you want 1.5 Bitcoin, right? Or 1 and 1/3 Bitcoin, or whatever the math would be, right? You probably want more Bitcoin. The goal here isn't to accumulate Bitcoin while holding as much Bitcoin as possible. It's to read the room, read the macro environment, read the charts, and go, I need to take profits at the highest potential point of profit, and I need to buy at the lowest point on price action so that I can maximize the highest potential Bitcoin amount that I have, the most Satoshis I can get, right? And so when we take a look at this chart here, and we look at these bottoms, guys, these market bottoms, we've historically returned back to the 786 every cycle. If you measure, if you guys don't know, these platinum pocket or golden pocket tops are pulled. And just to show you how crazy it is that I knew that we were hitting this level, these are pulled off of cycle highs to cycle lows. So this low back here to this high to this low gave us a trend-based fib, 3 points, trend-based fib extension of this, okay? And so same thing, from this point to this point to this point, that gives us this projection of this, right? And so it plays out really, really well. Well, if we look at bottom side movements, measuring from the bottom to top, on logarithmic, that retracement is 78.6. It's a platinum pocket. Okay. And we typically, actually always, not typically, 100% have always fell into the platinum pocket on pullbacks in the market. If we take a look at what that level would be, we're talking about a 42. Is that right? Let me go measure that again. I want to measure this, make sure I got the exact number on this. If this was the top, is that the top? Nope, I am not on the top, sir. Let me get that top. I want to make sure I get the exact number here. There we go. We're talking $35,600 Bitcoin. Okay. At the current level right now, you're talking about another almost 3 Bitcoin for every 1 Bitcoin, right? That you'd be able to buy that cheaper. So when I take a look at this and I watch these markets and I'm taking my profit levels so that I can get, the lower prices, I'm not looking at it for how much can I hold right now and just keep adding.
I lost audio. Not sure if you can hear me. We have a little bit of an internet hiccup, and then I lost audio. Yeah, seems like not the only one.
Got rug pulled by YouTube. Man, I had to go like restart the whole thing again on YouTube. It's crazy. Anyway, our goal is to get as many tokens as we can back into our wallet for that run up, right? So that's why I'm approaching this the way that I'm approaching this, just so you guys are tracking. I appreciate people that stuck around. You guys are back. I got totally rugged, but OC and his cap there, I appreciate it. Hey, when I get to my new house in June, we're going to have fiber optic internet. So I'm looking forward to my 1 gig fiber optic, much more stable than copper wires from the 1950s that cable company uses. So, yep, tinfoil hats on. We're back though, guys. Appreciate you. We lost we had a 50% loss on our market cap of viewers, but that's okay. OC, your thoughts on all of that, man? Pretty much what I was saying, basically. You heard most of it. I don't think there was, I think when I noticed that there was no audio, I stopped talking. So, but yeah, that's why I'm looking at this. If we get that down to like the $35,000 range, I want to buy as much as I can in the bear market, right? If we got from $160,000 upside from here, yeah, it's a big move to the upside, but I can always buy more. You can always buy more. You can always buy in and run that thing to the upside. You don't have to make every single little tiny percentage, but yeah. Never had a problem buying Bitcoin. Always had a problem buying it cheaper than what it gets to, right? So if it goes up, I can't get cheaper Bitcoin, but I can continue to buy and make those profits on the way up. So OC, I appreciate you, man. What's your thoughts on all of this? And then let's head out of here and wrap it up.
Absolutely, guys. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you. Quick reminder to click that like button, because if you do, well, we're gonna have fiber optics internet soon. So we want that. Please click that like button. And other than that, I believe that I'm up in the boat with you. We need to be optimistically cautious here. I mean, we are already into a bounce. A good retracement could be and should be the way to go, because that way we can let the market cool off, right? And I mean, I'm pretty excited, other than anything else, to see the DPEG right now from the market. I don't think even when we start seeing crypto Twitter going, yeah, depegging, which I bet you, if we move a little bit higher, we're going to see those news. Oh, yeah. Well, then, this is not yet the pegging, all right? But we could be, can I blow on that?
Whoa, sir. Family show.
Yeah. Oh, man. Oh. Well, going back to the news, well, I would say that we need to be careful, but I'm excited to start seeing the pegging start happening. What I mean with that is just a change reaction that could be happening throughout time. So when you start seeing the pegging news, if we got the bullish movement, do not fall for it just yet. But yeah, absolutely. That's what I got.
Accountability said platinum pocket, huh? Original idea. Only ever heard Coons mention the 886. Yeah, so I actually learned about the platinum pocket 786 to the 887 from, funny enough, a Elliott Wave trader. So long ago. How long ago was that? About 3 years ago, OC, that you and I stumbled across the platinum pocket level from, I can't even remember his name in the Chart Prime community, but yeah, definitely an Elliott Wave thing, but it works out phenomenal on my fibs on high time frame too. And yeah, that is where we've retraced to every cycle. So shout out to Accountability. Yep, love Coons, man. That dude is awesome. All right, guys, that's all we got time for.
I'm going to be sending you my winners for you to blow on them, to add on them.
Family show, OC. Family show. Family show.
Abandoned ship.
All right, guys, we're going to be heading out of here. Don't forget, if you haven't joined our Discord yet, go check it out. We've got a lot of great stuff in there. The DCA Piper plan, profit-taking plans, lots of great traders with trade calls every single day, TradFi stuff, crypto stuff, always learning opportunities in there. And if you guys haven't done so yet, you guys are missing out. There's some really, really good stuff over there in that beautiful, beautiful world of our Discord. And it's, $4.99. That's it. And you get all of that every month. So we will be back here Monday morning, guys. This weekend, family time, always family time on the weekends. Go spend time with your family, your loved ones. And remember, every day that you get with them, you will be happy that you did. No one ever regrets not trading on a weekend. They do regret the time that they missed with their family. So go spend time with your loved ones this weekend, and we will be back next Monday morning for the morning market report. OC still got one more show tonight. He's going to be doing trade with OC, and then Sunday night, LBC will be back with Markets After Dark. BC Port Corp on Monday morning, and we'll be back at 10 o'clock to talk about everything happening for the week. So we'll catch you guys then. Until then, trade safe. Don't be afraid to take some profits. And if you're going to trade, use some risk management. We'll catch you guys later. Peace.
I don't know what they keep telling me. I don't know what they keep telling me. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling after the wheels fall low. I know you hungry for knowledge, that's profit appetite. Classes in session, this for the Army Piper acolytes. Trade flag at the soul train ready. What a line from OCGuy, former Mexican spaghetti. Yo, crunch crypto with a deep dive to reject dime. And if you like the visual powered by Chart Prime, then you were part of that alumni, that's all spine. But if you have step, fall back to offline.
Boom shakalaka!
We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling after the wheels fall low. Sound off to get with them.
Those are rookie numbers in this racket.
Alexandra. Yeah, that's my love. Now you know what I mean. You can't handle the truth.
That was awesome, dude!